Hello and welcome to week 2 of AC1520 Managerial Accounting and Decision Making. Remember that the contact information is up top with the name, email address, phone number. We also have office hours by request. Best way to request is usually to send an email with a few times that we can then meet at a future time, at which time we can meet by phone and or screen share software and work through problems together using screen share software, whether those problems are in Connect or in Excel, or if we just have questions about them. That's a good tool to use. Going to scroll down to the current week. We are in week 2. We have the familiar layout with week 2. We have the objectives, the topics, and the lessons. We will be covering chapters 21 and 22. 21 being something that we started on last time. That's really what we're going to be concentrating on this time in week 2. That is cost volume profit analysis. One of the key tools we will be using in managerial accounting is the idea of the cost volume profit analysis based on the foundational principles that we are going to be breaking costs up, not by category necessarily as done in financial accounting, but by cost behavior, whether the costs change or how they change as production levels change. Variable costs versus fixed costs. Breaking costs out in this way allows a lot more flexibility and ease to make projections on and with. That's going to be the goal, and that's really what managerial accounting is often about. We want information that's going to help us see how we did in the past. Financial statements are great to do that, but we also need information to help us project into the future and do some what-if analysis. What's going to happen if we do this? What happens if we do that? A lot easier to do that type of analysis if we have our costs broken out by behavior, variable costs, fixed costs. Not the easiest thing to do that because we need to make estimates to do that. Not all costs break out in that way exactly. And of course, the short term and the long term are going to have differences in terms of cost behavior. Then we're going to take a look at chapter 22, a chapter we will continue on next time, which is master budgets. So that's going to get through the managerial concepts, another big managerial topic, budgeting, because budgeting is planning for the future. We're looking at past data to help us plan for the future and so we're going to consider prior data, but we're also going to consider future data, what we think is going to happen in the future in order to make the plan, the budget. Remember that we have our resources, of course. So our resources here, these are going to be links to videos. These are going to be a bit older, but a bit longer, possibly more detailed. And then we have some links down here to some probably shorter types of videos. They're going to be in YouTube, most of them. So you can go to this playlist if you wanted to go to them outside of Moodle Rooms and you want to go here directly. You can copy and paste the URL. The ones that have the 21 next to it will be related to the topics here for related to chapter 21, I believe. And if you click the master budgets, that's going to be everything related to the master budget. It'll have the 2200 related to it. Same idea. We also have, I'm going to go back to Moodle Rooms. We also have the audio lecture. So if you want to listen to this stuff on the audio lecture side so that we don't have the visual and you want to listen to something while you're doing chores or you're driving or something like that, you can listen to the audio lectures here. We have those on SoundCloud, so you can listen to them on SoundCloud, designed for audio only. If you want to listen to them on a podcast on, say, a phone or tablet, you can also find these, I believe, on iTunes under the podcasts. So if you wanted to listen to them on an iPhone or something like that while you're driving, you could find them there. If you have some other device, then Stitcher is an application where you could find the podcasts and listen to those in there. You have to look up. It's going to be the same reference number as in SoundCloud. All right, back here. Then everything from the discussion forums on down. That's what we need to get done. Remember that the discussion forums are worth 21% of the grade. We want to get full credit. I would encourage everyone to get full credit by posting at least 4 times. Probably more than 4 times. 4 times is the minimum. Remember that discussion forums accumulate upwards. Therefore, you can't really lose credits with a post, but it is possible to have no points added with a post if no new value is given to the discussion. So Make sure you add in relevant value. If you copy and paste anything from Google or something like that, that's okay, but to get full credit on a post like that, you want to reference it so you're not plagiarizing, and you probably want to add to it in some way, meaning put the same information in your own words at the least to kind of paraphrase it, so you can paraphrase it and or critique it. Is it right or wrong? How does it relate? What application can you put this information to? Those are types of things that can help to get full credit on any particular post. Then we have the assignments, we've got the homework, we've got the quizzes. Remember that most of this stuff will be done in McGraw-Hill's Connect, the third-party software, as we are familiar with, I'm sure, at this point. But although most of the work is done in McGraw-Hill's Connect, it is not all listed in McGraw-Hill's Connect. And although most of the work is not done here in Moodle Rooms, it is all listed here in Moodle Rooms. So you want to go through Moodle Rooms. You want to check off everything that has been completed as it's completed, whether it's completed here in Moodle Rooms or here in McGraw-Hill's Connect, because this is really where you can check everything off. Then we have the quiz down here, also done in McGraw-Hill's Connect. Remember that if you run into a time constraint, you want to take the quiz. Don't miss the quiz. Everything's due on Sunday, but we cannot generally make up quizzes after Sunday unless there's an unusual circumstance, at which time we take that on a case-by-case basis. We have a bit more leeway for the assignments and the homework. Therefore, if you run into a time constraint, take the quiz, don't get a 0 on the quiz, go back to the assignment and homework for late work, knowing that you could and will lose points for late work on the assignment and homework, but you can still pick up some points for late work. So that's the approach there. I'm going to scroll up to the gradebook up here, left-hand side, the familiar green icon, gradebooks. And remember that everything is going to be due on Sunday. I have until Wednesday to get everything updated from the prior week. I'm going to try to get it in there by at least probably Monday night, but Tuesday around noon for sure. Therefore, go in here Tuesday around noon and make sure that everything has been updated as you know it should be, because you've been checking everything off as you go. For example, Tuesday around noon after week 1 has closed means we should have discussion forums changing from a dash, hopefully to 100%, because everybody's shooting for 100% as we have planned for the discussion forums. The assignments and the homework and the quizzes should populate in a similar way, for the dashes changing to what has been earned in those areas. If, for example, a dash here in the homework for week 1 changes from a dash to a 0, that's an indication that it has not yet been done. You want to then consider doing it for late work at that time, or if it has been done and it has been graded properly, let me know and we'll check that out as well. Any work done in week 2 will then be graded in a similar way following the close. So I have until Wednesday to pick up any work done in week 2. I'm going to try to get that in there by Tuesday. That includes late work or current work. So if we did this week 1 homework in week 2 for late work and this week 2 work, both of those would then be updated by Tuesday around noon following the close of week 2. So that's going to be it for week 2, so have a great week 2.